we're ready for how. It's funny because as I put all this together in a mini course, I am really aware of the fact that creating a self-care toolkit, putting together something for your emotional first aid for when times are tough is a lifelong process. And I don't want to sugarcoat that. I don't want to make it seem like this is it. You do these 3 short lessons and your life is great and you have a toolkit that you can use for the rest of your life. This is only the beginning. I know, and also I'm really aware of the fact that we're all starting from a different place. I'm also really aware of the fact that, and I think this is what's really driving me for this lesson, I am in the process, of course, of putting together my own toolkit as I have been doing for the past few decades. We all are. I think of my role as a guide, somebody to hold your hand, somebody to just remind you that it's possible and important and something that you should be doing, something that's worthwhile, something that's you are valuable enough. You are valuable. And so all the time that you might spend looking after your most cherished object, let's say maybe you have a car that you really like. I don't, but maybe you have a cashmere sweater. Maybe you have what are some things people have that are valuable? I have a bracelet that was given to me by my grandma, and I take really good care of it. I clean it and I spend time making sure that it's stored properly, and I only wear it to certain events or something like that. You are so much more valuable. So, finding out what you wanted to put in your toolkit, you've done that, you've begun to do that. Spend some time daily, weekly, monthly, checking in to make sure that the what you have in your toolkit is still appropriate, and add to it if you want. Take things out if you want. How to put this together, again, is your decision. There's lots of ways to go about it. But again, consider the fact that you're valuable. You are valuable. It doesn't matter whether you've been acting properly lately or not. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter whether, I was about to say whether or not you have children, because honestly, in our society, we place value on people based on absurd external notions. Internally, no matter what, you are valuable. I hope I've made myself clear. That, I think, is the most important part of the how, is knowing that you're of value. That this taking the time to create a toolkit is so important. How you make it is up to you. I am the most unconventional person I know. I often will just keep lists, actually. I'll literally just have a scattered list of things that are really important for me to do every day, next to my bed, or tucked in a pocket, or written on my hand, Palm Pilot style. And that's really all I do. However, what I've also done for the family are things like this. I have kept a basket in the living room full of yoga and physical therapy, physiotherapy tools, and massage tools and things like that, just there, so that anybody who feels like it knows that, oh, this is important. This is something that we can do here in this room. Similarly, I'll keep art supplies ready and open in an open area that makes it accessible and inviting. Again, if I feel like, and this is something I've done sort of more for the family, if I feel like that's something that's missing in people's lives, or I will tack onto the dining room wall a list of reminders of things you can do to lift up your spirits, or things you can do to ground yourself. Things like listening to music, going on a long walk, laughing, all the things we talked about in the last video and in the last lessons. The most important part of the how is allocating time. And that will flow from understanding that you are valuable. Once you know that, allocating time is just well, of course, right? Sometimes you must allocate the time first in order to push the reminder that, yeah, you really are worth this. This is important. You are valuable, right? So I suggest really putting it in your calendar. If you're a calendar person, and I am actually, so this is an easy one for me. If you're a calendar person, put in your calendar a half an hour a week. I mean, okay, ideally it's every single night before you settle in for going to sleep. It's maybe 20 minutes. That's an idealistic thing to do, though. And I'll be honest, I certainly can't do that religiously. So I don't want to put it out there as this like thing that needs to be done. But at the minimum, I would say weekly, an assessment of, okay, these are the things that I have at my ready that I know I can use when times get tough. How does that feel? And then add to or delete things from there. So weekly, set aside time. So that was a little bit achi-kochi, but I think I'm gonna give you a bullet list of what is important in the how. And from there, it's you that's going to figure out how you're going to do this. 1, understand you are valuable and worth it. Not just worth it, but you are so valuable that it's wrong not to take time to care for yourself. So you are valuable. Number 2, allocate time. Allocate time that you absolutely have as a dedicated time allotment in your calendar, in your schedule. Either nightly, either daily, you could do it morning as well, either daily or minimum every week, just to consider the things you have in your toolkit, consider the ways you take care of yourself, and make sure that they're appropriate. Number 3, either write yourself a list of those things and have it really handy, or do both, or actually put out reminders for yourself of what those things are in an obvious place so that you'll almost trip over them. And then, oh, right, I could give myself a little massage right now. Or, oh, here's my essential oils right here in front of me in the bathroom. I'll just use them. Here's a playlist on Spotify that I can absolutely just hit play whenever I need that boost of certain kind of music, etc. Oh, or even more simple, here are my walking shoes right by the door with a clean pair of socks in them. So the combination of lists of things that you have in your toolkit, plus ideally little easy to see, very difficult to miss reminders of care around your home. That's it. From there, it's really a maintenance thing. And again, I'm just going to really close the how part with another reminder of the importance of doing this, if you can, when you're calm, before a crisis hits. In the same way a person might get their wilderness first aid before they go hiking in the backcountry. You know, you have all those things with you. You don't need them. Sometimes you may go, this is ridiculous. Why do I still have, I don't even know. I don't have my wilderness first aid. Why do I still have this like really intense first aid kit that I pack with me every time? Nothing ever happens, bad ever happens to me. Well, in the same way, if you have your emotional first aid kit, and whatever you want to call it, if you have those things at the ready and you know how to use them, and you do use them ideally, even when times are really, really good and your life is wonderful, when things get harder, they're going to be there for you. And you're going to have those routines in place. You're going to absolutely know what to do. And here's where the grandma, well, I'm not technically a grandma yet, but here's where the older person in me feels like I can say this with authority. Things are gonna happen. If you live a life in this world, things are gonna happen to you. And I would say, thank God they do. It means you're living, right? In the same way that you kind of want to have wilderness first aid and you want to have that first aid kit in your backpack, because that means you're ready to go out into the backcountry and really challenge yourself physically. In the same way, let's hope you're living a full life, fully alive, and you're challenging yourself so that sometimes things might get a little dicey, right? But you're going to be ready because you've got your toolkit, you've got your ways of taking care of yourself, and you know how to do it. So with that, enjoy. Put your toolkit together and start using it so that you can go out into the world fully prepared and just, have fun.